figure out what's going on with the guitar and this music thing? Is a guitar a stranger to you? What is a chord anyway? What are scales? I will make the guitar your friend. I will explain all this and more in this video. So stick around. Let's talk music. Hi, I'm Kenny Selcer. Let's go over some of the basics. This is a guitar, and it makes noise when you hit it. Like when you're a kid, just banging on the guitar, you see a kid, nothing's coming out. If you want to make some music, you have to know some things about the guitar. So let's talk about those things. These are strings. There are 6 strings on this particular guitar. Most guitars have 6 strings. There are 12-string guitars, there are 7-string guitars, but let's talk about 6 strings. So these are strings. It goes from high pitch to low pitch. Pitch is just, if you hear this note and this note, you hear the difference, right? This is high pitch, this is low pitch. This is 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string, 5th string, 6th string. That's how it's ordered on the guitar. So these are frets. You have the metal things, you put your fingers in between the frets. Open strings are just when you play the string open. Tuning pegs are up here. Hopefully you know how to tune. If you don't know how to tune, go learn how to tune and come back to this video. Notes of a scale. What is a scale? In the Western music, there are 12 notes, and they are named first 7 letters of the alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it starts again, A, etc. A note from A to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, is called an octave. There are 12 notes in the system. On a scale, usually in Western music, it's 7 notes, even though there are exceptions. A major scale is, you know that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do? That's a major scale. Pitch is where you started. So if you started from this note, do, the key would be in that range. That would be the key. You can start it here, you can start it here, you can start it here. So that's a pitch, and pitch relates to a key, what key you're in. So let's start with the C scale. There are 7 notes, as I said, and it sounds like this. That's a major scale, C major scale. Let's talk about intervals. Intervals are the spaces between the notes. So if you have a note here, you're playing an F note, you're playing a note 2 frets up, that's called a whole step. So a whole step on the guitar is 2 steps. That's a whole step. Half step is like this. You have 1 fret on the guitar, and that's called a half step. And you can have an interval going from here to here to here to here, or between this note and this note, or this note and this note. There are intervals. A scale is 7 notes, usually. 7 notes of the 12 notes in Western music. And here's the 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when you go up to the 8th note, that's called an octave. So here's the first note, and hear how it sounds the same? That's called an octave. There's 7 notes leading up to that octave. Let's talk about a scale. Let's talk about the C scale. C scale is made up of 7 notes out of the 12 of the Western musical system. 7 notes. And they all have letter names, starting on C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to a C. Now you hear the first note is a C, the last note is a C. This is called an octave. So C scale starts with your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, which is the 5th string, right there. Then you go up to the open string, which is a D. 2nd fret with your middle finger, it's called the E. Move up 1 note to the F with your ring finger. Open G string. A note is the 2nd fret on the G string, which is the 3rd string. B, open string, and back to C. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That is what a C scale is. It's a major scale, C major scale. It has kind of a happy sound to it. So every note has a number on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now a chord is when you play more than one note at a time. Usually a chord is 3 notes or more. In this case, 3 notes is called the triad. T-R-I-A-D. Triads are made up of notes of the scale. That's where chords come from. So if you have a C, every other note, you have C, E, and G of the scale. So it's 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, and 1. So here's the C chord. Chords come from the scale, and they're made up of every other note. 1, 3, 5. Now if you want to make another chord, you can go 2, 4, 6, and that would be a D minor. C, D minor. Chords come from scales. And in this case, we're just talking about the triad. So let's go over that again. The scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to the octave. Let's call it 8. So a chord is made up of every other note of the scale. 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6, 3, 5, 7, and so on. And then you play those notes at the same time. So if you want a C chord, it's a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a chord is made up of 3 notes, 1, 3, 5, every other note. That's the triad. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C, E, G. So here's C, E, G together. Play together. 1, 3, 5. And then you put another note in the octave up there on top. So I'm playing the middle 4 strings, and that's the C chord. We talked about the intervals between the notes. C is a root, it's called the root. If you go up to D, that's 2 frets on the guitar. C, it's a note in between, and there's a D, open D. That's called a whole step. Whole step is 2 frets on the guitar. There's always a note in between. So a major scale is made up of all whole steps in between the notes except for 2 spots, between the E and the F, and between the B and the C. So C to D is a whole step, D to E is a whole step, E to F, see it's 1 fret, E, F, that's a half step. F to G, that's 2 frets, the whole step. And remember, open string is considered a fret in this case. Then you have G to A, that's a whole step. A to B, it's a whole step. And B, 1 fret to C, is a half step. And that's where the whole step, half step thing comes from. That's what makes a major scale. Every major scale has whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And you put 1, 3, 5 together to make a chord. In this case, it's a C chord. If you have any questions, just write in the comment and I'll try to get to them in the next video. So that's scales, that's chords, and pitch, because in this case we're starting on the pitch of C. And by the way, this scale, starting on this root here, C, is called first position. C includes open notes. That's a C octave using open strings. One more thing, if you want to move faster, just learn the names of all the strings. It's important. E, B, G, D, A, and E. That'll help you a lot. So that's all we're going to cover today. So go practice.